Well, I guess the good news is I can load up the server again with the new bot config. So that's nice. Did I just close the window that popped up? Oh my goodness. I literally went to click to move a window and it... Holy shit, dude. Oh, now I'm launching 2 server windows. Hold on. Just fuck. Oh my gosh. Oh. Let me just play my game, please. Let me just play my game. Okay, can I play my game now, please? Please? I'm gonna GM some shit. I'm gonna make up lost time. How did I end up here? Where am I flying to? No. That's not how this works.
What brings you here? Careful.
I am one.
When there's something else that I sold, maybe not.
Del Magus.
Alright, where's the bank? This is the bank, isn't it? Yep.
Strength and honor.
Yeah, about that. I don't need this anymore. Oh, I think I have all 3 of them. I'm pretty sure it's just 3 of them that you need. Could be wrong. Put all my recipes in here, put the beads in here, put this in there. This I can sell. What the hell am I still doing with these? Put that fishing pole on it. Actually, you know what? I'll hold on to that one. This can go away. Keep everything else, I think. Oh wait, this is my 12 slot. Okay, perfect. I just need to run over here and sell this crap. Like this and this. And where's my old bag? Sell that too. I guess I could check the auction house while I'm here. Soulless Staff of the Monkey. Well, that's obviously not for me. It's for monkeys. I'm a troll. I should probably bring up my stream, huh? Fully engulfed by Shadow Flame. You know, I'm pretty sure I need to make the bots immune to that at some point. Should probably get some more healing potions while I'm here. Like I said before, I'm already content with the idea of not getting an epic mount immediately upon getting 60. I think I will eventually get one, because I'm going to be doing all the raids and shit, and I would think at some point I will get enough gold to get one. And I'm pretty much just gonna stay at 10 speed until I get to where I'm going, which is Silithus. Speaking of which, what's this place called over here? Cenarian Hold. There. I'm content now. Robe of the Archmage. Archmage, whatever. Where's my tailoring? I don't think I have that recipe. Probably not. I'll probably buy it though. So I just need to go to any old Twilight camp here and farm. Is it 10? 10 encrypted texts. Oh, before I forget, need to set my graphics card profile back up before it decides to overheat for no reason. Which it's trying to do right now because the fan does not kick on with the default profile. It's kind of weird. Nope. Stay back. I should be able to kill this keeper too. Or not. Fucking scorpions, now I have to reset aggro. You know, I wonder what it's like to do this zone if you're playing hardcore. To do this zone in classic. I wonder what that's like. Do you even come here if you're playing hardcore? I just don't see why you would. I'm questing here again. Oh, look. Alliance. Who would have guessed? I'm getting hit by this douchebag. At least it's not a bot. That's perfectly acceptable. I'm pretty sure that mage is still just standing over there. Like that one big dude does in the Beau is Afraid movie. Just standing over there, staring at me. Having Vietnam flashbacks in his head. Um, I should drink.
I guess I have a new attachment.
New attachment. What are you, a robot?
Yeah. If I put her down on the ground, she's gonna do that.
Come here. You know, I don't even need to kill the keeper. I just need to kill the dudes over here. There's a rogue. And the rogue is... Why did I come back here? Stein, why did I come back here? Why did I do it? Why am I subjecting myself to this? Hopefully I lost him, because he did go stealth. Which requires walking slower. You better drop something good, because you're trying to kill me here. Or you're about to kill me. Come here, Bebs. Almost landed on that bottle. These mobs just appear out of thin air. Almost died. I'm about to die. Well, now I go around back to the other side, right? Right. You know what? That sounds like a great idea. Except I don't want to get up. And I really just want to get my 59. Windows XP. I never thought of that, honestly. I don't see why not. I mean, you can play WoW on Windows XP. So I don't see why you wouldn't be able to run the server core on Windows XP. Could definitely try it. A problem with Windows XP though is it only recognizes 4 gigabytes of RAM, right? I don't think I've ever ran this on 4 gigabytes of RAM, or maybe I have, I don't remember. Still chasing me. See, you can run the server. It's just a matter of like how well you're gonna be able to run it. Ideally, you're probably gonna want at least 300 bots at least. And I say this only because well, no, 100 bots. But if you have 100 bots, you're gonna have to actually pick what spec they are most likely to be. Because if you don't have at least 300, you won't have a large enough lot to pick from. And you're going to end up with like raid groups that are, you know, that either have too many tanks or have too many healers or too much DPS. but it is possible.
Past that yet.
Okay, I think I lost all the bots for right now. Ah. That was great. Man, I felt like I was playing with actual players there just for a second. I would try it. I mean, it's free. Just download one of the 3 cores. Don't download all of them until you know. And then fuck around with it. And if you think it performs well enough for you, you can download the rest. That way you're not making too big of a bandwidth, hard drive space investment. But I would start, yeah, I would start at 100. You're going to want to do 100 bots, min and max, and you're going to want to do like 20 bot accounts. Probably is what I would do. That son of a bitch still around here? I bet he is. From what I've seen, it uses a lot more bandwidth, or not bandwidth, memory than it does processor. A lot more. Like right now, it's using, and I don't even have all the bots populated yet. Let me see. I have 32. You can see that. I have 32 gigabytes of RAM, and this thing's currently using. It's going to be about 5 gigabytes here pretty quick. And I'm currently sitting at 1,800 bots. So that's not bad. Oops, wrong button. So yeah, you might actually be able to get away with 500, because I forget how much they've optimized this. Oh, he's back.
That's still recharging. That's still recharging. That's
But yeah, I would definitely just give it a try. If anything, roughly 2 hours of your time is down the drain, so. Come on, bitch. I got like 3 of them chasing me right now, so. Oh, there's gonna be a 4th one. Also, you don't want 3,500 bots. I know it sounds cool on paper, but you don't. You don't. You really don't. In case you're wondering why, this is the perfect example. Once you start getting into like mid to high level contested zones, kiss your leveling experience goodbye. Now I'm probably gonna do 3500 on a PvP again when I make my next tunes, except the only difference is gonna be everyone's gonna start at level 1. So we'll see how that goes. And if it's still as tedious as it is right now, the tune after that, I'll just do PvE. And then I'll let everybody group with everyone. Because you can have, you can turn on cross-faction grouping and stuff. And this... See, I died that one bot. That's what happened. Shit. Shit. Oh, he's got friends. I know I said I wasn't going to summon bomb anymore, but I've had these bots in my party for a while and they just kept dying one at a time, trying to get their body. So...
Recharge in.
And my back is killing.
Recharge in. That spear isn't ready yet.
I don't know if I'm just sitting too far forward too often or what.
Cast that yet. To target something first. That's the
My mana is exhausted.
You gonna burn to death? No?
My mana is exhausted.
I can't even get any questing done with the bots that I have for help, because the other ones just keep respawning.
I don't have a target.
Um...
I need mana.
I should have kept walking. Yeah. You need like a 25-man raid to just do anything around here. And honestly, it's really just the Twilight camps that's giving me this much grief. I'm trying to think if there's somewhere else that I can quest. Plaguelands. Is there a horde camp in the Blasted Lands? I'm pretty sure there's a neutral quest there. I'm gonna go to the Blasted Lands. Fuck this place. I could do low-level quests in Burning Steps too if I wanted to. They'd all probably be green though. Wouldn't get a whole hell of a lot out of them. Where's the bat handler?
I am forsaken.
This is gonna be a long ride. If anything, I might grind in here for a little bit just to change shit up. I don't need that much XP to hit 59. Well, let me see. Yeah, I do. Actually, I'm full of shit. Don't mind me. So what's everybody's favorite class and race in World of Warcraft? I got a long flight here. And I'd rather interact with my chat more than just be alt-tabbed looking at random shit on the internet. I need to open a window or something. Any dog? Mandela effect, yes, all the time. Not necessarily like in my day-to-day life, but like, for example, if I watch videos or something about something, like old, I'll remember something like one way, but it was never like a thing. And speaking of the devil, you know, I'm gonna watch a Mandela effect video here. "20 mind-blowing examples." Brand new Mandela effects, part 27.
Welcome to a very special brand new Mandela Effects episode, because today we're talking about history changing. This episode is going to be extremely weird, very different, but super interesting. You're gonna love it, so let's get right into it. Solar panels first came out in the 1950s. Except now that isn't the case. The first solar panel was actually created in the 1800s, and was even installed on a New York City rooftop. And speaking of solar-powered things, apparently some ships that went on long voyages across the sea had sunlight-powered ovens dating back to, get this, the 1700s. Sure, why not? What about electric cars? This seems like a new enough concept. Well, what if I told you that it's actually really, really old? In fact, the first electric car debuted all the way back in 1890 in the United States. Not only that, apparently electric cars from a bunch of different automakers popped up all across the country. New York City even had an entire fleet of 60 electric taxis. By the year 1900, electric cars accounted for 1/3 of all vehicles on the road in the United States.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, these all kind of suck. What's this?
We have the creator of what is the world's first quantum computer in person here from Burnaby, BC. These are really big deals. They come in at about $15 or $20 million a piece.
Something like that.
And have been bought by major American research and corporations.
That's right, correct. All right. So quantum computing is a very technical subject, and I'm not going to talk a lot about the specific details, of which I'm glad, sure you're glad. But I'm going to try to give you an idea about what the kind of thing is that we build and why people are so excited about it. But I'm going to wrap that story in another story. How many of you have children? Let's see, hands. So it's almost everybody. So I have 3 children. The youngest is 4, the oldest is 8. And they're very different, but they share one thing in common,
Oh,
And the
hold on
parents in
here.
the audience may, I suspect, have noticed the same thing. Each of my children has fixated on a particular...
Let me answer your first question. Have I ever had any experience of a paranormal nature? I wouldn't call it paranormal. But I will tell you that I am a I'll put it this way. I am big on Jesus. Very big. And I've seen certain things happen. I wouldn't necessarily call it like ghost paranormal, but I would call it unnatural. And I believe it's more of a divine intervention than a paranormal activity.
stuffed animal.
I'm not gonna go into detail, but one example would be a tornado making a 90-degree turn in my driveway of a double wide trailer and sustaining no damage. But the trailer next to me, I guess I'm going into detail now, but the trailer next to me ripped in half. That's all I'm going to say.
Animal as being their special friend or toy. And in particular...
You know what, Michael King? I am actually very happy for you. And I'm not even being sarcastic. It's nice to see everybody getting to experience this, and I can only hope that more people get to experience it, and I hope the devs don't get sued. That's my two biggest hopes.
James absolutely loves this little guy called Bear, which is the picture that I'm showing up here. Bear was a limited release Thai Beanie Baby, and there aren't very many of them that were made of his particular form. And one Christmas, I decided that it would be insurance policy to go and try to buy some more just in case something happened to Bear. So I went on the internet.
Before this guy gets into this, let me just say, I don't think there's any sort of quantum computing that's trying to change the past. A lot of people think that. I don't think that's even possible. However, I do think that they're making these multi-billion-dollar computers to try to predict outcomes.
Internet and
not necessarily the future, but outcomes.
Did a search, and I was only able to locate
Yes, sir. It is a White Russian. Drink
two
of
others that
drink
were
of
for sale, and I
gentlemen.
bought both of them. So now he has 3 of these little guys.
I drink them pretty much every day now. You can call me an alcoholic, but I've seen actual alcoholics. I don't think I'm one of those.
But the reason that it occurred to me that this might be a good...
I only have like 3 or 4 of these. Alcoholics, they might just scrap the whole idea altogether and chug the whole bottle of vodka. That's an alcoholic.
To start as a conversation that I had with him last week. He wanted to sleep with his older brother in his bedroom, and his older brother wouldn't let him. And he was very sad and despondent, and he's like, I'm scared, I don't want to sleep by myself. And I said, well, you've got Bear. And he said to me, Bear isn't real. And so I found this very intensely distressing for a variety of reasons that maybe you'll understand when I go through this. And I assured him that Bear was as real as anything else in the world. And he said, but he can't speak and he can't move. And
yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a hobby.
So I said, well, what you really mean is he's not...
The problem is affording hobbies. Like, I shouldn't even be streaming right now. I should be golfing. But I'm having a change in crafts at my job, and income's a little rocky. So I'm holding off on the golfing, probably until June.
Alive. And he said, yes, that's what I mean. So for very young children, the sense of being real and the sense of being alive are somehow connected. And I'm going to circle back to this point at the end. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about quantum computers and why people care so much about them. There are literally tens of thousands of some of the brightest people in the world today trying to build these machines and understand them. And I'm going to tell you why. In my last 15 years of working on this type of stuff, I found that scientists divide up into two categories of zealots about this field. The first half are people who are absolutely entranced by the physics of these things. This quote is from a respectable scientist, in fact, one of the founders of this field, that may look a little strange to you who don't follow theoretical physics, but there is a
the video playing the music.
clear prediction that our most successful theory of nature makes, and that is that there are an enormous number, mind-bogglingly large number, of parallel realities, as real as this one, that have different consistent histories. So imagine a world where all of the laws of physics as we know them are obeyed, but different decisions were made along the way. Different decisions at the level of tiny microscopic particles, different decisions all the way up to what you chose to eat for lunch, and whether you chose to come to this session or not. Quantum mechanics makes a very specific prediction that all of those are as real as the thing that you remember. And this is bizarre, because we don't see those other things. But science has reached the point now where we can build machines that exploit those other worlds. And quantum computers are perhaps the most exciting of all of these that we have within, or almost within our grasp right now. So people from a physics background...
You know, maybe that's what's at Area 51. I don't think Area 51 has aliens. Maybe it's just one giant quantum computer that's like fucking constantly calculating outcomes.
Love this. They want to understand the world. They want to understand the universe, how it all works. There's another type of person who tends to come from the computer science side that's like, yeah, okay, that's all great. But there's a different thing going on here, which is just as exciting, if not more, and that these machines that supposedly can do this wild stuff, let's forget about how they work, if you could build one, could solve problems that you could never, ever solve with any computer of the sort that we build. If you took every single atom of silicon in the world and made the most sophisticated conventional Intel-style processor that you could build, there are problems we know of that I could write down on a sheet of paper that you could never, ever, ever solve with that thing, that you could with this kind of machine. So that's very exciting. Humans use tools to do things. If you give humans a new kind of tool that can do things that you couldn't otherwise do, imagine the possibilities. So you may think, well, this is all fine and dandy, but aren't these things in the realm of theory and speculation kind of in the same regime as other futuristic things you may have heard of which may be allowed by the laws of physics but aren't here yet? That's not true. There are in fact many of these machines deployed now in openly available research centers following the model that was used to introduce supercomputers to the world. They're too big and ornery and difficult to operate to put in your home, too expensive also, but you can give them to a place which will manage them as a shared resource that will offer that service to the world. And there are two of these now. One of them is at the University of Southern California. And this analogy with flight, I think, is an interesting one. So a horse can beat...
I don't really care for the background music on this, but whatever.
Initial flight of the Wright brothers' flight in speed. But a plane is not a faster horse. A plane is a different kind of machine. The plane takes advantage of another resource that nature gives us, this third dimension, in order to do something that matters to people better that you could do with any horse. It doesn't matter how fast you make a horse, it will never fly, at least the kinds of horses that we know about. So these types of computers now are being thought of in the same way. They're not terrifically powerful yet, but they're doing something completely different than what your computer does. And that thing is like flight. It gives these computers access to these new resources, maybe you could call them parallel universes, in order to do something that you couldn't otherwise do. And that's not the only one. In fact, the one I'm going to come back to and talk to in the context of the story that I'm wrapping this in was recently installed at NASA. And Google was the primary interested party that pulled this whole thing together. And this one is really exciting to me, because what they're going to do is apply this machine to an area that I think is fundamentally important. It's a crux of our future as humans, and that's, can we build machines like us? So, building machines like us might be possible. I certainly believe it is. I might be wrong. But what I do know is that the types of approaches that people are taking now to build intelligent machines benefit immensely from what this machine that we've built does best. So what this center is about is applying this beautiful new computational idea in the service of trying to make intelligent machines. Now, I can't think of anything personally
This level, this rank 7 Scorch hits like a wet noodle.
cooler than trying to use quantum computers to build intelligent machines. So this is very exciting to me. Steve Jurvetson has been a longtime friend and investor in the company, and for those of you who don't know him, he's a Silicon Valley investor who's probably the smartest VC that I know of, and certainly the one that's the most attuned to technological trends. He's on the board of SpaceX, Tesla, Synthetic Genomics, which is Craig Venter's company, is trying to build artificial life, and D-Wave, and that's it.
You're gonna burn to death,
And this
please?
is his particularly poetic way of framing the difference between the machines we build and conventional computers. This is what they look like. There are two of them. These are from our lab in Burnaby in British Columbia. From the outside, they look like giant black monoliths, big metal boxes, about 10 feet on a side, 12 feet tall. And they are powered, they have a fridge inside them, a refrigerator that cools these chips to almost absolute zero. Just a wisp, a fraction of a degree above absolute zero. Hundreds of times colder than interstellar space. Amongst the coldest and most isolated and extreme conditions that humans have ever been able to
I have to. It's my
engineer.
job.
These fridges, interestingly enough, which are called pulse tube dilution refrigerators, have a thing called a pulse tube, which emits a sound roughly once per second, which sounds eerily like a heartbeat. So if you have the opportunity to stand next to one of these machines, it is an awe-inspiring thing, at least for me. It feels like an altar to an alien god. They really are impressive machines. At the heart of this big box is a tiny chip about the size of your thumbnail. And on this chip resides all of the wonder and magic that makes this thing go. I'm not going to describe in any mathematical detail how it all works, but let me give you an analogy. In quantum mechanics, there's this concept that a thing can exist in two states which are mutually exclusive at the same time, quote unquote. And I'm using those words because the English language was developed before we had concepts to describe what these things actually are doing. But I'm going to give you a roundabout way of understanding this. Imagine that there really are parallel universes out there, and now imagine you have two that are exactly identical in every respect, all the way out to the horizon as far as we can see, down to the last little atomic detail of every single thing, with only one difference. And that's the value of a little thing called a qubit on this chip, which is a contraction of quantum bit. And that qubit is very much like a bit or a transistor in a conventional computer. It has two distinct physical states, which we call 0 and 1 for bit. In a conventional computer, these are mutually exclusive. That device is either one or the other and never anything else. In a quantum computer, that device can be in this strange situation where these two parallel universes have a nexus, a point in space where they overlap. And when you increase the number of these devices, every time you add one of these qubits, you double the number of these parallel universes.
Yeah, you know what?
That you have access.
I I don't even know. Like I've said so many things about it throughout time. Like I don't even know what to say anymore. But I can tell you that what you see on TV isn't really necessarily what's going on. You can't tell me that there's a large chunk of the population in our country that's openly okay with mutilating children. You can't tell me that. It's actually not possible. Okay? I will say that there's probably some, but it's not what they're making it out to be. And I kind of think that maybe this is all just a distraction. And on top of that, if you think about it, remember back in our day in high school, everybody was on like Ritalin and ADHD drugs and antidepressants. And, you know, you look at that in hindsight and it's like, wow, how much money did Big Pharma make out of my high school graduation class? You know? So that's what a lot of this is about. It's essentially trying to, for the people that do it, or that are interested in it, you know, it's essentially making them customers for life. Because if you get that kind of treatment done to you, you're going to be on all sorts of drugs for the rest of your life. And, you know, when you're a teenager and you have these identity crisis, even though it's not really an identity crisis, it's just like you're going through puberty and you're in public school, and those two things don't mix very well together. And so you start freaking out and thinking that maybe you're supposed to be a guy or maybe you're supposed to be a girl. And the parents, it's their job to be like, no, you're a boy. You just need to, like, get a hobby. Or maybe take the kids out of public school in general. But, like, I'm kind of going on a rant here, but like I said, it's just, it's a mix of things. It's hard to explain. I don't know. Like, pretty much whenever I look at anything anymore, doesn't matter what side of the aisle it's on. Like, even if Alex Jones says it, like, I always analyze it and think, is this over dramatic, or could this be true? And if it is true, and if I think it might be possible, I think, okay, well, who would benefit from this? And the beneficiary is usually always pharmaceutical industry. I mean, they just now, hey, that's enough. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Okay. Anyway, I'm just now seeing ads on TV where, why am I trying to fly? What did I bring this to? Oh, I'm just now seeing ads on TV where the pharmaceutical companies finally came out with they came out with an HIV suppressor, I guess, is what it is. They decided, I guess, that curing it, which you know there's a cure for that shit. I mean, they're the ones that made it. So, of course, they have a cure for it. They figured out they decided to come out with a suppressor to make money off of HIV patients. And so now you have the social engineering message of a bunch of, gay dudes on TV talking about how they can sodomize each other without risk of, giving their partner HIV, supposedly. And the whole message on the commercials being undetectable. That just seems kind of weird to me. Seems a little shady, in my opinion. So, I'm sure eventually they're going to come out with their drug that suppresses cancer symptoms, but it's not, even though they have the cure for it, which they do, they're going to come out with something that just suppresses it. Maybe helps you live a little longer, but at least this way, between the chemo and the pills, they're making twice as much money off of you before you die. I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass, and I apologize for it.
Access to, until such time when you get to a chip like this, which is
it's really easy for me to get on a rant about this stuff.
About 500 of these bits.
I don't talk about it very often. I used to be really into politics and shit in my early 20s, but I gave up.
Have something like 2 to the 500th power.
I used to come up with solutions to problems until I realized everybody knows the solution. They just don't want the solution because the problem makes money. And once you figure that out, politics become very uninteresting very quick because the ending is always the same. It's stupid.
Of these guys living in that chip. So the way I think about it is that the shadows of these parallel worlds
Isn't that cute?
overlap with ours. And if we're smart enough, we can dive into them and grab their resources and pull
Oh
them back
yeah,
into
treating the
ours
symptoms makes way
to
more
make an
money than the
effect in our
cure.
world. Now this may sound very odd to you and bizarre, and in fact I am using language that a normal theoretical physicist probably wouldn't use, but this is, what I'm telling you is absolutely correct and in line with the way that these things actually work. We've been doing this for some time now, and in fact we have our own version of Moore's Law. The doubling of the number of these qubits on the chip has happened once a year.
We live in a world where power-hungry assholes are using a faulty and corrupt financial system with money that's not based on anything except how much of it's in circulation to essentially put the masses in a constant cycle of serenity and despair. So they're too busy thinking about what's going on in their life to consider why it's happening.
For the past 9 years. So for the last 9 years, every year the number of these qubit devices has doubled, and it will continue to do so. As a point of reference, in terms of how fast these things are,
Damn, these bots are just multiplying,
in
aren't
one
they?
generation of chip, the one from the system that was installed at USC to the one that Google and NASA have now, the speed of the device went up by almost 500,000. This is the kind of progress that you're going to see with these types of machines going forward. And 500,000 sounds like an abstract number, but I put up a little mental comparison here to see what 5,000 really means. 500,000 is a big number when it comes to speed. All right, so now I'm getting into the last part of my talk where I'm going to make some predictions, some dangerous predictions. So predictions are very dangerous for a variety of reasons. Often they're wrong, which is one. But I think they're important because predictions somehow are our internal desires made manifest. Predictions are about what we want to happen, maybe not what will happen. And I'm going to make 3 predictions. And
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to kind of dance around this a little bit because I don't know what kind of word filters are on videos and streams that are kind of auto ban you or whatever, but I can talk about this and dance around it, but you'll still know what I'm talking about. There was a certain sickness a couple years ago, and come to find out that it was actually a normal seasonal-ish flu, and basically a lot of people ended up getting a certain something, a certain product sold by a certain company, companies, and they made billions off of it. Even though it either really didn't do anything or it did a lot of something. I guess it was a case-by-case basis. Meanwhile, a lot of people were apparently dying from the thing, even though they weren't really dying from the thing. They were dying from either natural causes, unnatural causes like motorcycle accidents or gunshots, or they were wearing one of those. And being an older person, and old people are very susceptible to pneumonia. They got pneumonia and they died, and then they were counted as actually dying from this other thing. And through all the confusion and lies, these companies, like I said, made billions. And now that they're done making their money and having record-breaking profits, we don't hear really anything about the thing anymore. And it was actually so predictable in the beginning, I even told my wife. And I lived through the Iraq War, I lived through Obama, I lived through all that shit. I told her, this isn't even real, number one. And I told her in about, as soon as Joe Biden's elected, they're just going to stop talking about it. I told her that. I told her that 2 years before he got elected. And that's what happened.
And all of them are dangerous.
It's gotten very predictable. It's just a lot of people don't pay attention. They think, oh, why would a pharmaceutical company want to, buy off all of the media and force and lawmakers and try to force people to take their product? Why would they want to do that? People actually can't comprehend that. That's the scary part right there.
Dangerous in the sense that they're very unlikely to happen, maybe, but I think that there's a very good chance that they may. As an aside, I just wanted to say that at least in the Valley, Silicon Valley, and maybe in the United States in general, there's a very deep feeling of unease about the way technology has been developing. Because we have all of these vast array of very smart people, and what they're doing is crap. They're building things that cannot last. They're building things that are not important. This is a little bit of a controversial point of view, but I believe it. But I think that the reason for this is it's low-hanging fruit. Computers haven't been around for a long time. And I think that what's going to happen is that as people get more comfortable with computers, the attention will turn from the Twitters and the Facebooks to very important things. So here's my first prediction. I'm going to predict that by 5 years, NASA will have found an Earth-like planet with Earth-like atmosphere and water on it, and serious people will start discussing how we get there.
Is that something that happened? Because let me tell you something, and this is going to be even more controversial, and you guys are probably going to hate me for saying this, but I believe everything that we've ever heard about outer space is a complete lie. Everything. I think that space stuff has been a money laundering scheme for something else. I don't believe we've ever so much as let's say this, I don't believe much of anything about that.
And by the way, they're going to use one of our machines to help do this. That's my first prediction. My second...
And there's a lot of things that I've come to, think about, and the more I think about it, the more I think, well, you know what, that was probably a lie too. Like Civil War was a lie. Majority of World War II was a lie. World War I, a lie. Vietnam, a lie. Iraq, a lie. Like, what else? The more you think about it, more events throughout history. It's just like, well, did that really happen that way? Because, they didn't have internet back in Civil War or World War II. They had the newspaper or the TV. So it was pretty easy to control the narrative and control history. But, that's just me. I think a lot about shit. So where are these servants? Oh yeah, they're over there. I remember now. Yeah. I mean, for example, if you believe in science over the Bible, you believe everything is a coincidence. And that sounds good until you look at our planet and see, like, we have birds, all these animals, all these natural processes in which way things happen. Like, I'm not sure I can believe that that's a coincidence, The fuck? I'm pretty sure I can solo this quest. I don't know if I can solo the elite on top of the mountain thing, but I'm pretty sure I can solo this quest. Or no, wait, this is the first place, isn't it? I think. I don't remember. And I've done this quest like 4 times. I still don't remember exactly. But I'm pretty sure there's dudes here that I have to free. Maybe. I don't know. I know there's an elite in here with a bad attitude. Wait a minute. I've never played a server core where this quest was scripted properly. Oh. Shit, I screwed that up, didn't I? Okay, now I remember what to do. That's true. And now everybody thinks that they're basically their own god, and that's what they try to push. It's like, well, you know, another thing too, if God doesn't exist, where did morality come from? You think a group of people just got together and decided, you know, hey, we're a bunch of Knuckle Dragon barbarians, we need some ground rules. No, it's not what happened. Because throughout history, any laws that man makes, or any rules that man makes, usually, you know, either benefits somebody or is the furthest thing from the Bible. Like, the more laws and shit that they pass in Congress, the more unbiblical our country becomes. Abortion's a good example of that. So you can't just say man founded morality. And that was also during a time where literally everybody was constantly killing everybody else. Oh. Oh shit, he's gonna kill me. I need that stone to respawn, actually. You know what? Let me just do a little something here. Did that work? Yeah, I'll come back. I'm pretty sure there's one in the building here too. Yeah. They definitely want to make that mainstream, I can tell you that much right now. Ooh, I don't know if I can kill him. Doesn't he drop something good though? I'm gonna try it. Wrong answer. Wow, he just takes no damage. Okay, I'm out of here. I'll take my frustrations out on this gnome. How are you following me all the way out here? I'm so confused. Anyway, I am gonna go up here. And if any bots, you know what? Let's just do this. There. Now no one's gonna fuck with me. We'll be right back. Yeah, I would say that's actually the thing that pisses me most off about pisses me off most about the whole homosexual thing, and that's the use of the rainbow. Because it is a mockery. Because when the last time there was a whole bunch of people just sodomizing each other and killing each other, etc., there was a flood, and the rainbow was a promise not to do it again. So you're basically waving that, like saying, "Na na na boo boo, you promised you wouldn't do it again." So it's funny because it's acknowledging he exists, and at the same time they're mocking it. They didn't just come up with the rainbow on their own, okay? They could have came up with anything. They came up with they purposely did the rainbow. I gotta pee. Alright, my apologies for that. Absence. Made a drink. My wife was like, hey, you want to smoke? And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, oh, well, I gotta pee. The good news is these should be respawned by now. Yep, there's the thing. Now I need to find the dude. There's the dude. Anyway, I'll push play on that video here.
Prediction is that this business of parallel universes is going to turn out to be very important. This picture that I've got under here is what's called a gravitational lens. When Einstein proposed his general theory of relativity, it came with a bunch of experiments that you could use to test it. And one of them was that if there was a point of light very far away and a galaxy in the middle, that galaxy should bend the light and you should see a ring. And this was eventually observed. And I think what's going to happen is somebody is going to come up with an experiment to test this reality of these things. And we're going to be able to do so. My third prediction that I'm going to end on is the most important of all. I believe that humanity is on the cusp of the most important technological, societal revolution that's ever occurred. And that's when we got to the point where the machines that we build outpace us in every respect.
1 second.
I don't mean that they're better calculators. I don't mean that they're better at searching. I mean everything. And I think that we're very close. And my prediction is that within 15 years, we will have machines that outpace humans in everything.
Oh, shit. And this mic is taking a beating. Oh, that's the end of the video. And to comment on that too. I've been fucking with computers since I was 9. Machines will never outpace the people that made the machines, because the people that made the machines are imperfect. Therefore, the machine itself is imperfect. In fact, it's only gotten worse. I mean, if you think about it, like Windows XP was probably the best operating system ever. 7 was pretty close, but XP, you can't beat that. So, like, how is a machine made now by the same people, same kinds of people, going to be, you know, is machine gonna surpass man because man's getting dumber, or is machine gonna surpass man because the machine's getting smarter? I just don't see it happening. All right, where's the slave? There he is. Oh, I'm getting lit up. Hold on. Oh wow, you resisted that. I just got killed by a bunch of greens. That happened. I mean, if anything, it's gonna be, in fact, it's already happening, where basically these AI things are becoming the next golden calf. And, you know, people are gonna form their whole life around them and things like that. You know, that's a given, but they're never gonna surpass man, because man is free, machines are not. So therefore, man will always be at the top of that. Only God could create something that's better than man. But man was perfect. At least until you know, Adam. So I'm gonna have to go at this like they can kill me, unfortunately, which they can. It's been proven. I'm gonna go ahead and play a video of slang of the 1920s. Let's listen to that.
There's one thing about the 1920s that I've been neglecting: slang. Slang is absolutely a part of the pop culture of a time period and can sometimes give hints as to what life was like then. In this video, I just want to talk about individual slang words and phrases and how to use them correctly. Oftentimes, when trying to reenact or portray a time period, certain slang words are overused or overrepresented, and I want to do my part to introduce real slang that were in mainstream use in the 1920s. Some of the most overrepresented slang from the 1920s are those used by gangsters and criminals, but of course they made up only a small percentage of the total population. However, with that said, slang in general was mostly only used by certain groups of people, generally young people who are up to date with the trends. And one more thing, most people already know this, but I still want to mention that most of the time, mainstream slang from the 1920s carried over into the following decades and was often still used into the 1940s.
It seems loud to me.
So with all those formalities out of the way, let's get into the words. First, dough. Not dough for baking, of course, but money. This usage of dough can be heard in many popular songs from the 1920s.
People don't know about dough? Come on.
This slang had been in use for many decades prior, but really became commonplace in the 1920s in America. Because traditionally it was common to earn one's living by making bread, it isn't all that surprising that dough became a word to refer to money. Similarly, bread also became a slang for money as well. Next we have vamp. This meant a woman who was very good at seducing men and casting them under her spell to do what she wants. Not one
Vamp. I never heard of that one. I always call that bitch a succubus.
of the most socially progressive slang words of the 1920s, but it was nonetheless very common in entertainment and media. This word was taken from the type of stock character often used in film in the 1910s and 1920s, who were also referred to as vamps. They lured the main male character and seduced him in order to gain control of him. The most famous vamp actress was Theda Bara, who was a movie sensation in the 1910s, most famously in Cleopatra in 1917. Next is chic. A chic was a man who was very charming, handsome, and masculine. Really, it just refers to the ideal image of a man at that time. As a bonus, the female equivalent was Sheba, though I personally have not encountered this very often in 1920s media, and it seems that chic was far more common, but I thought I would just throw that one in too. This usage of chic can be traced back to a specific film. The Sheik, starring Rudolph Valentino as the title character, was released in 1921 to massive popularity. Women swooned over Valentino, who was considered by many to be physically irresistible. Chic originally meant, more specifically,
these guys are janky, huh?
A lustful prowl, as Valentino did in the film, and Sheba was the woman he lusted after. But chic soon began to take on the much more general meaning of an attractive man.
Can I?
The
Yes.
film and the subsequent use of chic as a slang word
I can
were
and I
both
shall.
heavily influenced by the popular fascination with exotic things in the 1920s as well. Next is the exclamation, "and how." Essentially, this just means that you agree with whatever someone else just said.
Where does this little
Think of it
bastard
as a
keep
more
coming
casual
from?
way to say indeed. and how was always used as a response, usually an enthusiastic one. Here's an example using the previous word we just learned. One woman says, "My, he is simply a chic," and the other woman would reply, "And how?" This is a shortened version of the longer response, "And how he is a chic."
Oh, shit.
The next phrase is more commonly associated with the 1930s, I think, though it was
I'm
certainly...
gonna get a copyright strike for this one. Let me, I don't know, somebody give me a video to listen to. I'll take suggestions. I'm gonna do my best Carson Daly impersonation. I'm gonna take your requests and play them live. Let me do Tom McDonald's new video. Okay. Oh shit, I hit back too many times. Don't be killing my servant. I'll fuck you up. Watch. I'm gonna one-shot this guy. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh shit, hold on. Hold on. What is he? He's a mage? I'd have to buff the fuck out of myself before I try to attack him. So I need to wait until he's lower health. There we go. Here we go. Boom! You didn't see that one coming, did you, bitch? No, you didn't. Next level plays. Oh, I'm still in combat, so I can't actually. You know, I'm gonna blow this warlock up real quick. Fuck. I'm gonna die. Yeah. For some reason, I accidentally targeted the Void Walker. Do I have any bots in this area? I do. I'll go ahead and, I'll take the company of, do we have any initiates that can get a promotion out of this? I do. I'll go ahead and take the shaman. Oh, wait a minute. Angry Joe is live. I gotta ask him something. Or at least he was. Hold on.
So I can actually review it in a vlog review. I was waiting for G Fuel to send over a cyberpunk flavor, but I think it doesn't actually exist yet, and I'll probably be waiting another month for it to come out. So I might have to, you know, hurry up and just maybe film my vlog opinion on cyberpunk, and then maybe time it with the pre-orders for that G Fuel. So, oh, guys, I can't believe we didn't talk about this. Where's my G Fuel flavor? Little Joe's got it. Guys, this is the month that we got our own G Fuel. Hey, Angry Army Ammunition, AAA. We're very proud of it. Long time in the making. We tried over 60, all of the G Fuel flavors. We have tried every single one, and this one is the one that we chose, our specific blend. So if you ever want it, well, I want to buy a G Fuel, but I don't know what flavor is best. This flavor is best. We all rated it. We all agreed. So make sure you're buying these tubs. The collector's edition is sold out, but the tubs are still in stock. Please, it supports the show. It gives
See if he's
us
actually
a
watching your
percentage
stream
of
chat
every
or not.
tub sold that can help go directly into all this. So thank you to G Fuel for finally getting us on our own flavor, and it's the only place that you can see Alex smile. Oh.
Yeah, that you can tell that it's not real.
It's right here. Well, if you want a clearer version, you'll have to buy.
You have to buy. Yeah,
all right.
My bazooka's facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
So.
And Joe OJ's bazooka is facing the wrong way. He's about to shoot Alex in the face. Okay. All right, guys. See y'all. Let me give you the link to the G Fuel. That way you can grab a tub and you support the show.
And use code Angry Joe.
Don't forget to use code Angry Joe for your 30% off. You ain't getting a bigger discount than that. That's wild to even have that discount. So grab it now while you still have that discount. All right, guys. See you on the next one. Bye, everybody. Have a good week.
Oh, he's just now ending the stream. What a fucking homo. Whatever. Can't do anything over here, man. Constantly getting pestered by bots. Oh, look, there's another bot. And another bot. I'm dead. Maybe. Alright, I'm gonna need a few more guys over here. There's probably like 10 alliance over here now. Horrifying history of shell shock. Sounds about right.
Those whispering guns, oh Christ, I want to go out, and screech at them to stop. I'm going crazy. I'm going stark staring mad because of the guns. This is an extract from the poem Repression of War by Siegfried Sassoon. The poet experienced the horrors of World War I. He served as an officer and wrote this poem to describe the trauma a young soldier might experience even years after the conflict. No injury better encapsulates this feeling than that of shell shock, a term coined by the soldiers of the First World War. It was a catch-all term for the myriad of conditions brought on by the stresses of the war. It is a visceral description for just what the soldiers faced on a daily basis. In today's video, we will cover what shell shock is, how it was viewed and treated, and how shell shock helped redefine how we view mental illness. Whilst the term shell shock likely started to be used among soldiers during the First World War, It is sometimes called battle fatigue or soldier's heart. The first recorded use of the term shell shock was in the medical publication The Lancet by Charles Samuel Mayers, who treated
I can't
3
quest
soldiers
anywhere,
with
apparently.
similar symptoms, all attributed to exposure to shell fire or the consequences. For example, one patient
This
had
is a
been
really good
buried
quest chain,
alive
too.
for 18 hours following an artillery strike. Some of the first recorded symptoms of shell shock included loss of vision, smell, hearing, and loss of memory. Men would experience tremors, being unable to control their bodies, struggling to speak with stammers, and prone to panicked violence. As for the physiological symptoms, the soldiers often had feelings of helplessness, fear, panic, and anxiety. Samuel Mayers, along with many others at the time, attributed these symptoms to damage to the delicate tissues of the brain and spine, caused by concussive shock from shells landing.
You know what? They
nearby.
seem pretty
As
distracted
shell
by
shock
that
was
world
initially
boss over
seen as
there.
a physical injury, the soldier was
World elite,
eligible to
whatever.
receive
Not
a
really world
discharge
boss.
and a war
Motherfucker,
pension.
go
But as
away.
the war progressed, shell shock
Holy
patients
moly,
who
what do
had
you got
not
over
experienced
there?
shells
What are you
exploding
packing?
nearby began to be recorded. Initially, these soldiers' symptoms were thought to be neurasthenia, a type of nervous breakdown caused by the theatre of war but was still referred to as shell shock. This started the question as to whether there was a physical component to the cause of the illness. It was believed that
should
only
be able to
certain
outrun 'em.
individuals were susceptible to shell shock, which was sometimes instead referred to as a lack of moral fiber. It was believed that shell shock was a sign of a lack of discipline, a lack of faith in the cause, and as a sign of treacherous behavior.
I did
Mutism
not
was
mean to
seen as
go
a
up here, but
consequence
you
of
know what?
repressed obstinance to their officers'
I lost the
orders,
bots.
an ironic symptom for those who even thought about talking back. As many of the symptoms were psychological, men were sometimes treated with suspicion as it was thought they were faking the condition to avoid the war. The expectations on both the rank-and-file soldiers and the officer class were that they were to be stoic, brave, and in control of their feelings, even in the face of battle. Those suffering from shell shock were therefore seen as cowards, as emasculated, and seen as failures. For a time, shell shock was seen as a young soldier's
I never knew
injury.
that, actually.
Many of the news articles covering the condition often referred to the patients as scared young boys, ill-prepared for the horrors of war. The type of industrial warfare of the First World War was unprecedented. From the poison gas attacks and constant shelling to the dire conditions of trench life, many soldiers left the front broken by their experience. There was a shift in the understanding that the environment was the cause of the shell shock patients and not their moral character. The treatments of shell shock patients were many and changed as the war progressed. When seen as a disciplinary issue, doctors employed berating and beatings. Electric shock therapy was widely used, a key proponent being Dr. Louis Yealand. Yealand claimed a near 80% success rate with his patients. Success being defined as soldiers returning to the front line.
Fuck it.
His view on soldiers under his care was that they had experienced a complete loss of manhood, and that they ought to remember the bravado that would carry them through the rest of the war. He would employ suggestive therapy and insist
Wow.
that electric shocks
Okay.
would not stop
I just got
until
one-shotted.
he saw the improvement he desired. Electric shocks were applied to the affected body parts that were subject to tremors or paralysis. For those patients who were mute, the shocks were applied to the throat. Such shocks would continue until the soldiers screamed out, proving the mutism cured. Any fears a soldier may hold were exploited as a means to cure. For example, if a patient feared loud noises, they would be placed in rooms overlooking busy main roads, or those who feared isolation would be placed in solitary confinement. Yet, soon enough, a more compassionate approach developed, one that combined rehabilitative activities.
We knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. I suppose we all thought that, one way or another.
the 6th and 9th of August 1945, the world bore witness to a new type of warfare. The nuclear bombs, Little Boy and Fat Man, were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki by American bombers. The goal was to force Imperial Japan to surrender, which they did on the 15th of August 1945. It is widely known that the dropping of these two new types of weapons brought to an end the bloodiest conflict in human history, with a death toll of well over 70 million. But in today's video, we will cover just what happened in the days, weeks and months following the dropping of the weapon that would go on to shape the remainder of the 20th century. Hiroshima was the first city selected to be destroyed by the atomic bomb. It was selected as it was vital for both manufacturing and military command. It also housed the headquarters for Field Marshal Shunraku Hatta. It was also home to approximately 350,000 people, many living in tightly packed wooden-roofed houses, though the central area of Hiroshima consisted largely of concrete buildings. Nagasaki was selected as the second target for its shipyards, steelworks and manufacturing centers. Almost all of the workforce of Nagasaki were employed in some form of manufacturing. Unlike Hiroshima, most of the buildings and homes were of wooden construction, again tightly packed. Around 260 people were thought to have been in Nagasaki at the time of the bombing. On the 6th of August 1945, a modified Boeing B-29 Superfortress, given the moniker Enola Gay, flew over Hiroshima in the early morning. The Little Boy bomb was delivered by parachute at 8:15 in the morning. It was detonated around 2,000 feet above Hiroshima. The resulting blast was equivalent of around 12 to 15,000 tons of TNT. And this was with just 2% of the bomb's uranium achieving fission. At least 80,000 men, women and children died instantly. Over the next few days, the Japanese government reeled from the destruction of Hiroshima. Some considered the surrender proposed, known as the Potsdam Declaration. Last-ditch efforts to avoid the Soviet Union declaring war on Japan were made, all of which failed, leaving Japan with the warning that on the 9th of August the Soviet Union would declare war. Leaflets were dropped by American bombers onto a number of Japanese cities, though not onto Nagasaki. On the morning of the 9th of August, the Soviet Union declared war on Japan and began its invasion of Manchuria. The Japanese government met in Tokyo to discuss proposing their conditional surrender. At this point, however, the modified B-29 bomber, known as Boxcar, was flying over Nagasaki. Much like the first bomb, the Fat Man nuclear bomb detonated some 1,600 feet over the city of Nagasaki. Anywhere from 40,000 to 75,000 men, women and children were instantly killed. The next day, on the 10th of August, Japanese civilian and military leadership met to discuss whether or not they would agree to the full and unconditional surrender as set out by the Potsdam Declaration. Emperor Hirohito, breaking the tradition of the emperor not meddling in government decisions, declares that he wants to accept the Potsdam Declaration, but only if the title of emperor can remain sovereign. Meanwhile, plans for further nuclear strikes are planned by the Americans. That is, until Japanese media broadcasts leak that Japan intends to unconditionally surrender. American Secretary of State James Burns issues his response to Emperor Hirohito's request that he remains in power. Burns' response is that it will be the Allied powers who will be in control and will in due course allow the Japanese people to decide their own form of governance.
Anyway, I also want to point out that from what I understand and read throughout the years is that the nukes actually didn't make Japan surrender. It was the Soviet Union, as he said, also the fire bombings. The fire bombings are actually far more devastating than the nuclear weapons, but you probably won't hear about that very often. Like, to put the fire bombings in perspective, if anybody has ever played Far Cry 2, if you ever, like, light a field on fire in that game, He might be too far away. Oh, okay. You ever light a field on fire in that game? How the fire just kind of like spreads like really far? That's basically what the firebombing was. Like, picture, for example, we firebombed that much, right? Well, considering everything in Japan is wooden, at least at the time was wooden, while it might have stirred here, it would have ended out to there. That's probably actually an under exaggeration. So,
with the uncertainty of his position, Hirohito pushes his government to surrender. A failed military coup later, Japan formally surrenders on the 15th of August 1945, bringing an end to the bloodiest conflict in human history. But it is vital to take into account
are there slaves over here
those
too?
people directly impacted by the nuclear bombs in the seconds, days, and years later. Within the first seconds of the bomb detonating, extreme
I don't remember where
infrared
they. I know there's
energy
some by
was
the dark
released
portal.
and instantly burned exposed skin for miles. The soft internal organs of all life evaporated.
Okay, I know where they are. There's some here and there's some down
start
here.
to hit the ground within the first few milliseconds of the blast. The ionizing radiation that will claim many lives in the days to come. The blast wave spread outward at speeds reaching 7,000 miles per hour, driving a fireball that would consume much of the city's buildings. At the center of the explosion, temperatures would reach 7,000
This is where I gotta do 9,
Fahrenheit.
right?
Broken
Probably.
glass and all manner of debris is sent flying, cutting through those
I don't need,
unfortunate enough to be caught up in the
oh,
deadly
yeah, I do.
tempest. The telltale gigantic mushroom cloud forms visible for miles. With such a destructive force, it is no wonder that between the two bombs, some 150,000 people died instantly. What made matters worse is that the doctors, nurses, and medical staff were largely wiped out by the blasts. It is estimated that 90% of the doctors in Hiroshima were instantly killed or injured, with only 3 of the 45 hospitals unaffected. This only exacerbated the crisis that would follow the detonation. Whilst the initial blasts claimed tens of thousands of lives in an instant, the slower, more
I figured I'd try to
insidious
help.
deaths were still
There's
to
too many
come.
alliance here.
By the 4th day, those who had been treated for apparent burns started to display some unusual symptoms. Purple spots appeared all over the affected person's body. They would begin to hemorrhage blood after the smallest of cuts or injections and vomit a foul brown liquid. Hair would fall out in clumps at the slightest of touches as necrosis set in. At the time, doctors had no idea that they were dealing with radiation sickness, an incurable condition that affected those closest to the center of the blast or those who had consumed irradiated material. Many had consumed water from nearby rivers, driven to do so from the intense heat caused by the blast, unaware of the contamination. And what is most disturbing is that some attempted to drink the oily black rain from the mushroom cloud, though they soon realized it was the atomized remains of the city and people who were once around them. The heat and light from the nuclear bombs were of such intensity that they burned patterns from clothing directly onto the victim's skin. Superheated wristwatches became branding implements for those who wore them too close to the hypercenter of the blast. For those who looked directly into the initial intense flash of the nuclear strike, they were left with instant and permanent blindness. For others, cataracts and blindness would follow in a few short years. Though perhaps the most infamous injury associated with the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are that of the so-called ant-walking alligator people. The term derives from the now discredited book The Last Train from Hiroshima. According to the eyewitness testimonies compiled by the book, they were now eyeless and faceless, with their heads transformed into blackened alligator hides displaying red holes indicating mouths. The alligator people did not scream. Their mouths could not form the sounds. The noise they made was worse than screaming. They uttered a continuous murmur, like locusts on a midsummer night. One man, staggering on charred stumps of legs, was carrying a dead baby upside down. It is important to note that this book was pulled by the publisher due to fabrication of sources. It is, however, likely that many people were badly burned, dying an incredibly painful death as their very flesh melted. Over the next 2 to 4 months, the effects of the bombs killed between 90,000 to 146,000 people in Hiroshima and 39 to 80,000 people in Nagasaki. For months
I'll just run
afterward,
through the dark
many
portal.
people continue to
It's
die
fine.
from the effects of severe burns, radiation sickness, and all manner of injuries caused by the blasts. All of this made worse by the dire conditions, with illness running rampant and a lack of food causing malnutrition. It is
I've actually never
important to
been by
remember
here in
that a
Vanilla
great
before,
number
so
of
this is
forced
all new to
foreign
me.
laborers were in both cities. It is also impossible to know just how
I can't
many
quest here.
families were entirely wiped out, leaving no one to report the deaths. Health problems did not end after a few months. Pregnant women exposed to the bombings experienced higher rates of
I would have to get a whole
miscarriages
raid,
and deaths
and I'm
among
not
their
doing that right
infants.
now.
Those who were able to give birth had children who
So
were
I'm just
more
gonna,
likely to have
no, I won't
intellectual
abandon it.
disabilities, impaired growth, as well
But I
as
probably
an
just need to
increased risk of
go to
developing
Stratholme
cancers.
now.
This can be seen
Unfortunately.
in the increase in leukemia cases. Leukemia cases rose around 2 years following the blasts and would remain high for around 6 years, mainly affecting young children. It is thought that the effects of the bombs increased leukemia instances by almost 50% by the
I'll say it now. It's Asmon. He's always going off about how he doesn't want to have to play those fucking weeb games, and the weeb games are for coomers. But then he'll turn around and start talking about AI generated cosplayers on Twitter and exposing that he's a coomer. And I'll be like, Asmon, isn't that a little bit hypocritical? And he'll be like, Emeru, shut the fuck up. And then he'll start punching the shit out of me.
So we gotta go ahead and set the fucking record straight on what happened here. Number one, Imru is telling a story from like an event that she was not even at. The AI cosplayer story. This had to do, I had a meeting, and I don't know if this makes it better or worse, but I was talking to the CEO of Twitch about this. Because he was like, I don't know if people are going to donate to AI. And I was like, oh yeah, we'll take a look at this. It's like, yeah, I don't know if people would really support AI. I'm like, oh yeah, you want to see? I'm like, and then I showed it to him. So she wasn't even there. Number one. Number two, Imru, ever since she became an owner of a...
That should just be like the average defense against, for a rape suspect. She wasn't even there. Oh shit.
OTK
What's even there, Judge?
a big like table that everybody sits at. And everybody kind of has like their spot at the table. That
It
they
was
sit
me.
at.
It was me.
Imru sits.
It was me. Couple of my boys. I think my boy's sister was there. And she wasn't there, Judge. She wasn't there.
What now?
Alright, where the hell do I need to go here? Pretty sure it's quicker to go this way, is it not? Except I have to go all the way to Stratholme. That's no easy task. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and fly out. I'm gonna fly here. And then I need to go down this way. Or no, that's to the hinterlands. I need to go this way, and then this way, and then this way. Okay. There's just bots. There's just fucking bots in the flight path tunnel for Undercity. Can we get like a thing that teleports them out at that point, please? It's embarrassing.
It's in my fucking spot. I sat in this specific spot every single time.
I'm gonna go back to this hardcore fuck up video.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck. And he eats me. No.
That's funny. Okay. Alright, good. He got one of them. Where's the heal? Oh, yeah, it's over. Uh-huh. Nah. Jesus, that sucks.
You doing that escort?
Down to like...
Why does anybody that plays... Why do you do this? Why? Why? Like, what is it that makes you want to be on the edge of something like this?
Here.
And he slid right. Yep.
Buddy.
Matt, dude.
That's about right.
No.
Matt. It didn't look that far. You have to be one of the dumbest people I've ever met.
Uh-huh.
Not enough rain.
I'm gonna be real. This guy is a fucking idiot. You're going up against orange level mobs? And you're a warrior? What do you think? You're a fucking hunter or a warlock? Are you insane? What a fucking idiot. Orange elites.
Need more rain.
It's like, this is the funny thing, right? Is that, I mean, it's fucking done. It's done. You know it's done. Everybody knows it's done. Like, that's it. Especially whenever they resist the intimidating shout. And he's not even, oh, finally he has to click defensive stance. That's smart. No, it's so over. No way it's not. No way. Please have one of the fucking cats come out of it. Please, where are the cats? Thank you. Smart. Okay, he can get a pummel. Get a pummel. Get a pummel.
Can't do that yet.
Get a pummel. Pummel. Pummel, what are you doing? You're putting sunders on the mob? You didn't even pummel him. What are you doing?
Not ready yet. That ability.
It's...
He missed the kick? Yes, he missed the kick. Did he have intimidating? No, he didn't have intimidating shout. He could have gone defensive stance and that thing wouldn't have killed him. And then he could have gone back into berserker stance and then that would have allowed him to, what do you call it? To intercept the mob. But I still think he would have died. I think he would have died. Even then.
Bro, what am I doing?
I wonder.
This is really
It's gonna
cringe right
aggro
now.
from- yep.
No, bro!
Oh my god, bro. How do people not know this?
I'm so tempted to do a hardcore run.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
With
It's
bots.
Over. He can maybe. I think there's a chance he can Cone of Cold. And
I'm not gonna do
away.
PvP though.
I think that Mitch can get out of this.
What the fuck? No shot.
Are you friendly?
He doesn't have enough mana to kill them.
The fuck off.
Why are they not
What do you
friendly?
know?
Oh god.
Oh shit.
I love how there was like just that moment of confidence. Yeah, bitches, get the fuck off of me. And then this happens. This is like that fucking meme from back in the day. Tries to run between two mobs and ends up aggroing both of them.
No. No.
Where's the horde camp here?
Yeah. Yep. Ooh, level no way. No way. Oh no. Are the Scarlet mobs gonna come and aggro from proximity? Move away from the spider. Oh, yeah, see, we cut. No way.
Oh, I need to look up
No fucking
vanilla WoW flight path.
Wait. Wait, he doesn't even have fucking... He doesn't even have blessing of... There's no way. Did it like go away? Dude, he doesn't even have his blessing on. Look. He bopped? Oh, you're right. He bopped and he never put it back on. Of course.
Okay, they don't have one at all in Western Plaguelands. Noted.
Jesus.
So I need to take my happy ass over to Eastern Plaguelands.
He should have fucking moved away from that spider. He should have fucking moved away. He didn't fucking move away. And this is what you get. Why not put Seal of Light? Put Seal of Light on. Nice, just run. He deserved to die. Okay? He deserved it. I don't say that often, but he should have died. Okay. Fear! 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 What are you... What the fuck are you doing? Jesus. Smartest warlock right there. Why would you eat...
Nacho cheese too.
Surprise me.
Pick.
Surprise me. I can't decide. I'm dead.
Do you
I'm
want
dead.
both or one?
You pick.
No.
I trust your judgment.
No.
You know what I'm gonna say.
Pick.
Both.
even be here? Trap. Trap. Where are you going? What are you... See? You see this mindset. There is no way that these guys didn't do Ulduar and then be like, bruh. This shit is. Whoa, this is too hard. And then they went back to this. Oh my god. What is. There's no way. You're level 54? Jesus. And his feigned death literally just came up right there. If he had got one tick of the rune cloth bandage that he
shit.
had first aid, yeah, he could have probably gotten one tick of the rune cloth bandage off and then had it up for feigned death.
Failed.
What do you mean? Stand your ground, brother. Stand your ground. You never walk away. You're gonna aggro another Hydra. You're gonna go for another Hydra, aren't you? You fucking aggroed the crawler. You piece of shit. You aggroed the crawler, didn't you?
E basta Betlè. E basta domenica. Nessa.
There's no way he should have died.
E basta Betlè. E basta domenica.
No
Nessa.
that is,
Nah,
I
GG
cannot
guys.
fucking believe that. Okay, this person is a fucking idiot. This is an absolute fucking idiot. This is a group quest. Okay? This is a group fucking quest.
Oh, that's why. And I spawn all the way over
15%
here.
of your health in one hit. You really think this is gonna happen? What happens whenever he breaks out? What happens when the mobs that you cleared respawn? Well, I guess we're gonna find out. You're not even fighting his swing timer. Move out of range. There you go. Oh, there he is. What did he think was going to happen? What do you think was going to happen? Like, Jesus.
Great to meet you. Keep your feet on the ground. Watch your back.
Oh, here we go.
I wonder if there's any like hardcore RP servers. But wouldn't like all RP servers pretty much be hardcore at that point? Because if you're dead, you're dead.
Is this a joke?
Oh, God. There's a God on. Oh, God. There's a God on us.
Shit. Question mark, question mark.
Question mark.
Bubble, 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 bubble.
Don't bubble, it's gonna go to you. Why would you fucking use this if you told her to bubble?
Holy shit.
Keep running, keep running.
Run,
I
run.
think we're fucked, yeah.
Holy fuck.
We still might be fucked, keep running.
Oh,
keep running.
Keep running.
Oh,
Just
I'm
keep running.
dazed. No, boys.
Heal him.
Oh. Keep running, keep running.
Oh my god, oh my god.
I don't think that I've seen a single clip of this boss that didn't result in a death. I don't think I've seen a single fucking one.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So they already lost one guy, by the way. And it looks like that is the healer. Oh, that's the healer. Because Triple Bonk is a shaman and he's doing damage. Yeah. Yeah, that's the healer. It's
bro.
It's over.
I'm stunned. No, I'm stunned.
Jesus.
Just run, guys. Please run. Please survive. Please live. Please live. Oh my God, Thammy.
Enough energy. Not enough energy. It's too far away.
Okay, that's smart. He'll make it. Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
Oh, I missed my stun. Good.
What are you fucking doing? What are you fucking doing? You are level fucking... What level is this guy? He's like level 15. This is... It is a red mob. These are level 14. What are you doing in Dead Mines? This isn't a tournament? Oh, okay.
Stun. Oh, I'm slowed.
Tournament? What?
Slow him if you can.
That makes
Okay,
sense.
that's fine. That's fine. Alright, big heals on me. Oh, I'm dead. Yikes. Reset, yeah.
What the hell did you expect? Oh my god.
I really want to do this jump, but I'm really scared that I'll...
What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? I don't understand. If you want to do the jump, go to travel form and do the jump into the water.
fucking die. I just did the jump. Oh no.
I like hardcore WoW. That's like an outlet for natural selection.
Now you guys see why I don't raid Ulduar anymore? You guys see why I stopped? Look at his
No,
name,
I
Soren.
died! I
Yep.
fucking died!
Really?
GG. I slipped.
We have looted this chest 12 times. We have risked our life in a free-for-all arena where Alliance and Horde can attack you. Arena Grandmaster, people! Yes! We've done it!
That's impressive. That guy wouldn't have walked off the edge. That dude would not have walked off the edge. He knows what's fucking going on. Yeah, this guy, ain't nobody walking. Oops, ain't no oop. Nah, man. He was ready. I was expecting him to die at the end. Yeah, I was too. There's the video. That's fucking funny. Holy fucking shit, that's good. Wow. That's amazing. Went to Arena 3 in the morning every day for 12 days. That's smart. Yeah, that's a smart way to do it, man. Of course. God damn, yeah. What do you expect? Well, how about that? Man. Hardcore players and backpedaling. Name the more iconic, the most icon duo. Yeah, I don't know what it is about hardcore, but it attracts people that I don't know if they would be able to do Molten Core. I'm not sure if that would be possible. Given the challenge that Molten Core presents, the dangers that it has, I don't know. I don't understand. To be fair, there's a sample bias if we watch death highlight videos. That's true. But, like, how is it that every single one of them, they're making these, like these huge mistakes? Like, we're not talking about, like, a oopsie daisy. We're talking about a fucking, this is like a whole train derailing.
Oh, there's a lot of dead
What is
shit
going
here.
on?
2000. Every general manager. But despite having multiple All-Stars, Big Threes don't guarantee success. In fact,
I
most
missed
of
my
the
turn.
Big Threes failed spectacularly, and even the great Kobe Bryant couldn't make it work. Kobe's first attempt to form a Big Three got screwed over by Commissioner David Stern, who nixed the trade that was supposed to get Chris Paul to the Lakers.
Commissioner has the right to void the trade. So for the players involved, I mean, it's always tough.
In 2012, Kobe did get an all-star point guard, but the only problem was that he was 38 years old. Still, with Pau Gasol and the newly acquired Nash and Dwight Howard, the Lakers' starting lineup featured 4 all-stars and a former Defensive Player of the Year. Before the season started, Meta World Peace said that they would go 73-9 and have the best regular season in history, and he couldn't have been more wrong. Steve Nash may have been an all-star in 2012, but in 2013, he could barely walk. Dwight was still recovering from the brutal back surgery that decreased his explosiveness by 30%, and the Lakers had a losing record coming into the All-Star break. Seeing that they might not even make the playoffs, Kobe went ballistic. In March, Bryant averaged over 40 minutes per game, and he carried the Lakers on his shoulders to a playoff spot. But then, in the 80th game of the season, Kobe paid the price, as his 34-year-old body couldn't. He had a Big Three of Deron Williams, Joe Johnson, and Brooke Lopez. But their new billionaire owner felt he needed to introduce himself with a bang. So the Nets added Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Jason Terry in one of the most lopsided trades in NBA history.
When you talk about championships, the Brooklyn Nets are officially in the conversation.
On paper, things should have been perfect. Every member of the Nets starting lineup had been an all-star either in 2012 or 2013. So naturally,
I don't
assumed
watch
they would
basketball.
dominate
I
in
just, like,
2014. But that assumption was the
listen to
mother
it.
of all mistakes. The Nets didn't have a true leader, and those who came over from Boston had a combined age of over 100 years. Brooklyn finished the regular season as the 6th seed, and in the first round, they narrowly escaped a defeat in Game 7 against the Raptors.
At 5 seconds, Lowry. Williams a tight defense. Here is Lowry on the deck. Through 2. Lowry put it up. It's blocked by Pierce, and the Nets win the series.
But in the second round, they ran into a 280-pound LeBron James, who bullied them like they were small children in the schoolyard. After the season, Pierce left, Garnett got traded, and Brooklyn's title dreams were over after one season. The Nets were stuck between a rock and a hard place, with no superstars.
Anyway,
What can I do for you?
let me go ahead and get these Straw Thumb quests.
Interesting.
Because this is the only way I'm going to get any XP.
Very well then. Well met. Be careful.
Can I help you? Be careful. Hey there. For the Alliance. Greetings. See you around.
This had better be good. Farewell.
I really want to hit 59 before I do this fucking dungeon. It would be so efficient.
What can I do for you? Have a good one.
Interest you on a pint? Watch your back. Off with you.
Can I do that? Hold on. You know, I'm gonna keep this just so maybe I can like get it on the auction house. Yo, bro, rebuilt computer, got new SP going. Awesome. Glad to hear it, man. What kind of settings you got going? Pop some good commands in chat. You know what? Here. This shit's old as hell, but I used it for like everything. There's far better commands than this, but I don't know that link. But I do know I do know this one. These are from like 2016, 2015, so bear with me. There's that one. And there's that one. That's pretty much all I use. There's the pull command too. Tank attack is literally tank attack, but you need to put an ampersand, so at tank attack. You have to do that before that I know of, but apparently you do now. This shit's old.
Classic hard.
It's the shrimp.
All right, well there you go.
Third. I'm third. I was here first. Get one or two of them, but he couldn't fend off the third.
Holy shit.
He's got to get his priorities in.
Classic hardcore is going viral right now. Here's why.
Viral?
You know why it is?
Do we need a vax?
It's because what the fuck else are you gonna do?
This might be controversial, but I think right now, classic.
What tank commands am I using? I'm literally using, I'll show you. I'm literally doing, this is what I have for my macros, actually. If you want to just copy those. This is all I use. I got attack, which all the bots attack your target. Die, obviously, is good for if, you need to just kill something. Flee. Basically how I pull, if I'm in like a dungeon that's equal or higher than my level, I will pull group by group. I will have my bot set to flee before I do, so they don't attack, they just follow me. I'll pull, run like one room back, and then I'll hit follow, so then the bots actually attack whatever is there or attacking me. So follow is they'll follow you but attack everything. Flee, they'll follow you but ignore everything else. They won't attack. Loot, just ignore that one. It's buggy as hell. There's probably a different command for it now. I don't know. .save, you want to do that a lot. Stay. Keep them over here while you go. Do shit over here. Summons all the bots in your party or raid. You have to say it in party chat if it's your party, and if you have to say it in raid if they're in your raid. Right to you. And the same thing goes with flee and follow. Or any commands in general. If it's a raid, you have to say it in raid chat. And this is the tank command. At tank attack. It's the only tank command that I use. If you want to add strategies to them, most of them are pretty much like if they're spec'd a certain way, they automatically do what you want. But you can do things like CO plus heal, and they will heal if they're capable of healing. But if they're capable of healing and you add that to them, it should replace what their previous strat was if it was DPS or tanking. For example, most feral combat druids I run into, by default, they're bear. Bear's a strategy that's just for druids. So if you want to change them from bear to cat, you would hit CO plus cat and it would replace the bear form. I'm kind of going off real quick here, but bear with me. And if you want to check what the strategies are, it's a CO space question mark, and they'll list what they're doing, and then you can kind of replace it from there. There's also CO plus tank for warriors and paladins. There's also CO tank assist. I have no idea what that does. And there's actually, hold on. Let me see if... No, I have to have a bot in my party. Just invite a random bot to my party. So if you have a bot in your party, you can go and chat and hit help. They'll say, hey, you know, please copy a link to get information about topics. Let's do strategies. And then they'll be like, okay, what strategies do you want to know? You want to know general strategies? Warrior, paladin, hunter, rogue, priest, Death Knight. But Death Knight obviously is not in vanilla, so let's just hit rogue. And then it will list all the possible CO or non-combat, which is non-com, or NC is non-combat dead commands. These are all the possible commands that they can do. Apparently they have specific commands for certain raids. I didn't even know that until I just did this. But there's a lot of shit. Oh, yes, if you want to, I'm sorry. If you want to talk to specifically the tank, you right click. You right click and you hit whisper, and you talk to that specific character. You have to, yeah, you have to whisper each one.
What do you need?
That's why I'm glad that most of the time, by default, they come with the right strat for their spec. So if you have a 40-man raid, they're usually ready to go. Usually.
May your blades never dull.
Anyway. What quest am I on right now? I need to get bone fragments. Pretty sure I can get that from just about anything. If you want a tank to tank, you whisper. This is just an example. Whisper, CO plus tank. And then hit enter. But they should, if you invite a protection warrior to your party, by default they should be tanking. If it's a druid and they're fair, and you want to type talents, like if you have a party here, let's invite this guy. No, let's invite this guy. No, let's invite this guy. You want to know what their talents are or what their spec is? You just hit talents in party chat. I tell you, hey, I'm an arms warrior. Arms warrior by default is not going to be tanking. He's going to be set to arms. But if I do this, shit. I did that in party chat. You don't want to do commands in party chat unless you want your whole damn party doing it, just so you know. So in reality, I would have done that in a whisper. But since there's only one guy, it doesn't matter. So notice how he no longer has arms in his list of strategies. It's been replaced by tank. He will now tank. So, and if I re-add arms, he switches back to arms and loses the tank. Does that help at all? I'm getting attacked by fucking Alliance again. Story of my life. At least I think that's Alliance. I don't know what the hell that is. Oh, it's a Moon Kid. Yeah. Fuck him. And if you have somebody set the tank, and you do in party, you can do it in party chat. Tank attack, only the tank will attack. Tank AoE? See, I'm not like tank AoE and tank assist. I don't know how those work. To be honest with you. Like I would assume tank AoE would be like. See, I don't know. I'm really not sure. I know that some tanks have tank AoE. I know, I've seen Nostratho.
Safe travel. Have a good one.
These quests are just so much harder because, like, there's alliance everywhere. Other Croft, I believe, is over here or over here, one or the other. You know, I'm just gonna start killing shit as I run by it. Hope I don't get ganked.
The nacho cheese was too much.
Huh?
So it's done, but I put too much nacho cheese.
Oh, you can never have too much nacho cheese. I hope he's. Is there some for tomorrow? Is there some for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have 4 cans, huh?
Oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah. You can't close them. I tried to.
But it is done right now? It's
Yeah.
plated and everything on the table?
It's on the table. But
It's not on the table?
No, because your mom was watching TV.
We'll get it on the table. I'm trying to get my 59 here.
Not still recharging.
There is also new commands that you might be interested in, such as, I'll show you. There is the pull command, which works kind of like tank attack. If you say it in party, if you have like a warrior tank, they'll actually kind of walk forward a little bit and shoot their bow or whatever at a mob, and they'll pull it back to the group. And there's also, this just came with the newest patch, focus, heal, name. So name of the person that you want. And you won't want to whisper that to your healer, and they will focus healing that person, that character, whether it's you or a bot or whoever. Oh, I know. I'm well aware. I will tell her you said so, though. Anyway, I'm gonna have to get off here for a little bit to eat dinner, and then I'll be back. I'm half tempted to just grind my 59 out. Always hit dot save before you get off. Always. In fact, you want to hit it like periodically, almost like a quick saving in like a Elder Scrolls game, something like that, or Stalker. And you always want to use your save manager in your main SBP console. Always save before you shut down your server. I'm gonna go ahead and leave mine running now. But I will be back, and thanks for everybody stop by. Tell your woman she is the bomb.
Thank you.
Wife is cool as fuck, getting you drinks and shit. Lucky swine. Anyway.
After working all day.
Yeah. I'll be back in like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And if you have any further questions, if you're not already in my Discord, I can literally answer everything you have in there. So.
If you miss